What's going on, guys? State of Origin Game 2 is complete, boys. Queensland limp home in absolute epic game over there in Perth. Shout out to everyone that went out to that game. That was pouring wet. 60,000 through the gate in the pouring rain is absolutely crazy, but the boys showed up, put on an epic. Would have been worth it. I hate the rain. I wouldn't have loved it. Let us know what you thought about the game, boys. Let us know what you thought about the reffing, what you thought about the tries, what you thought about the game in general. Any bets you might have hit. We landed. So our Queensland bet cash backed. We needed Queensland to win the second half. It was the only leg that didn't hit, so we got cash back. And we hit Cam Munster 13-1. Man of the match. He was absolutely epic. One of those weird games where New South Wales... It sucks when you score the same amount of tries and lose on conversions. They actually scored more tries, 5 tries to 4, and Zach Lomax 2 from 5 with the boot. Val Holmes 5 from 5. Val Holmes was on one. He didn't look like missing. Whereas, man, you know the crazy thing about this? Queensland have one goal kicker in their team. Ponga, he is technically, but I think he's there by default, like at Newcastle. I don't think he's that great. Whereas New South Wales literally have... Nathan Cleary's missed 3 goals all year. Lomax is on one. You have Critter, who's on one. And then you have Latrell Mitchell, who's on one. And that's... What have they kicked? 1 goal in... 1 penalty goal and 2 here. So 3 out of about 10. That is craziness. Absolutely crazy. All right, boys, let's go through this. We'll have a look at the team stats. We'll have a look. We'll talk about the players, man, the game in general. Go through some player stats and stuff like that as well. Look, this was an ugly old game, and I want to just talk about the first half first. And then I'll do a general wrap of what I thought and players, how we think it's going to track towards Game 3 and all that sort of stuff. But look, first thing was Cleary was clearly injured. Now, I said that in my short video on TikTok and everyone was blowing up saying, I'm not making excuses. It was just very evident. He didn't kick at captain's rung and he told Freddie he had like a strained calf or something, or his calf was gone or whatever. And it was obvious when he wasn't kicking, but there was one moment I really noticed. I can't remember exactly when it was, but I think it was in the first half. Yeah, it was definitely in the first half. He went to pass and he put weight on his leg that had that sleeve on it. And you could tell, like normally you put weight on it and you swing and you hit. You could tell he like stood straight and like passed and it went behind. Payne actually knocked on. They said, bad error by Payne. It was Cleary's pass behind him in the wet. It was a terrible pass. But that's when I was like, well, he's actually not right at all. He definitely wasn't thing. And that to me, I said it in my pre-game, one of the huge advantages, especially when we thought Moses was going to be there, was going to be the kicking. And with Cleary being injured and then Luai being in for Moses, that almost got eliminated immediately. So that swung it right back in Queensland's favour immediately. Now, I just want to prerequisite this. This is going to sound like I'm sort of bashing Queensland here, but I'm not. Like, Queensland, to me, were absolutely brilliant in this game. I am so happy they won because I love Game 3s. But I'm just saying what I saw. And I'm going to be giving, if you're a Queensland fan, don't turn it off. I'm going to be giving you plenty of raps in this as well. So, then obviously New South Wales are very good when they get in that cycle and the game's flowing. The penalties, whether they were penalties or not, I know New South Wales fans say they won't. Queensland will say they were. Whether they were or they weren't, whatever, it was a constant stop-start, just really didn't favour them in the wet. And Queensland just played to the conditions better, in my opinion. Queensland and New South Wales want to play freely, put pressure on, kick chase, Brian To'o, Zach Lomax, Dylan Edwards taking carries back, rolling forward, winning that game of foursomes back, and that just didn't happen at all in the first half. It was 6 errors each, but this is the thing too, and you can sit there and say, the penalties. Queensland tackle efficiency was nearly at 100% at halftime. They missed 4 tackles. Like, that's epic. So you can sit there and bag Queensland and say, yeah, there was the ref. And look, those 8-0 penalty count is ridiculous, but they defended well. They scored tries when they went down there, so you have to give them some credit. What is alarming for Queensland for me is so the Cleary thing, the penalty count ended up, let's see what the actual penalty count ended up being in the end. 10-2. A lot sort of went their way, and they still got beaten by tries. That's pretty alarming. That's very alarming. And not only that, just how easily they got skinned in the wet on the edges. I felt like, so Queensland did an incredible job in the first half, whatever, right? And that sort of threw New South Wales game off. Like, they were off. You could tell nothing was fluid and slick, and they still skinned. That's pretty alarming. It's not like Payne rolled forward, got this mad play the ball, and Robson ducks out from half, engages two markers, goes out to Cleary. Cleary hits a double cutout, and then, you know what I mean? It was clunky, ball was getting out there, and then Tot was just diving over for 3 tries. The GOAT, if that makes sense. So I know this sounds weird, but I just feel like New South Wales, even though they're going to be so disappointed, could sort of almost go away and say, we can't really have it any worse than we had it, and going in at home, it's going to be very tough for Queensland to win there. I don't write them off at all. They just showed they can win a game, clearly. So that's just sort of my take on it. I just felt like the start sort of put New South Wales under the pump, and they were just funky from then on. But there's just, when you go back and sit there and you just extract all those bad bits, and you just be like, look how easily we still scored. Look how, when the penalty count, so 8-2, so 2-2 penalty count in the second half, just with an even penalty count, we won, 20, so 18, was that, how many? So they literally, 4 tries. It could have been 24 points. It was 18 in the end because of the bad goal kicking. But that's, New South Wales can really go back and just sort of be like, all right, let's sort this out. Now, just talking about players, we'll get to let's do the team stats, and we'll go to the player stats, and I'll talk about the players that I loved and the players that didn't. So both teams completed poorly, but you expect that in wet weather. They actually threw the ball around a bit. Now this is quite alarming as well. So this was at half time. Just let me bring it up. This was that's passing. Where is it? Come on, man. 705 to Queensland to 400 New South Wales. So in the second half, New South Wales ran for a K and Queensland ran for 500 metres, double. That's what I mean. New South Wales need to get in that back and forth grind, kicking, force and back style of footy. That's huge. That's double. And that's pretty damn alarming. 3 line breaks to Queensland in the first half, ended up 3-3. Tackle breaks 22 to 4 in the first half, 36 to 32 in the end. Wow, it switched. So get this. In the first half, Queensland average set distance was 32, ended up on 27. Queensland's in the first half was 27 and went to 32. So it almost fully swapped all their stats, that's just crazy. New South Wales slightly faster play the ball. Offloads 5-4, pretty even. Forced dropouts 2-0. Tackle efficiency 90 to 87. So ended up with 32. It just completely switched. Wow. I haven't looked at these. That's why this is all. I like doing it sort of with you guys, 15 errors to 13, 10 penalties to 2, 5-2 ruck infringements. So New South Wales did win that. All right, so let's talk about some players. Okay, this is a weird thing, right? I felt like Queensland won this, but I almost feel like they're much more likely to need changes to win the game 3. Kalen Ponga, bro, his cover defense is disgustingly bad. Really, really bad. I don't think he was awful overall in this game, but wow, I wouldn't call it a fall off, but wow, just not very good. And I think just watch all New South Wales tries. He's either getting there late or just getting brushed. Like it's absolutely nothing. Mind you, tall, pretty hard to stop. I thought Coates was solid. Toya, bit of a stinker. Let's have a look at some of their running meters, and we'll have a look at some missed tackles and stuff as well. But 75 running meters. Coates didn't have a whole heap of opportunity in this game. Toya was not very good, but he did keep Latrell pretty quiet. But they were sort of cutting him out and hitting Toa a bit more. Hammer, solid. He's got his 2 tries, but not a ton of work there. Just from looking at this, the back 5 didn't really have to do a ton of work, did they? They really didn't. Cam Munster was absolutely enormous. Like I said, man of the match, deservedly so, other than maybe Kurt Catewell. I thought he was enormous too. Now, Tom Dearden, man, he was getting a lot of raps in this one. I thought he was really good, and I'm not saying drop him or anything. He's great. He's the man for the job, but I do feel like a Queensland halfback in the past probably would have come up with a big kick in that second half to really turn the tide. It doesn't even have to be a 40-20. Just, it's a third. Edwards is way over there. Boom, boot it. It sits up a metre from the try line. Queensland just go and just pin you down there. None of that, but you know what I mean. It was an okay. It was definitely a pass grade for me. But I think if they're gonna, what I'm trying to say is if they want to win Game 3, I think he does have to be better than he was in this game. Mo was okay. Tino was pretty average as well, but the forward pack as a whole really held their own. Tino's had a couple errors, but it's wet, pass, whatever. Cotter, I thought was enormous. Kurt Catewell, if you watch my preview, I sat there and I said something which was a pretty bold statement. I said, I think he's been one of the best, second rowers / centres filling in there for the Warriors. And I know a lot of people probably don't watch Warriors games, but he has been, and I was one of the first people to sit here and say, he looks washed to me at the end of last year. He has been absolutely incredible in this game. He was 10 out of 10 in this game. So good. Absolutely, that was such a Maroons performance from him. Trent Liera, I don't remember much from him. Man was pretty good when he came on in that first half. I'm pretty sure he missed a few tackles in the second. Lindsay came on and, look, Lindsay Collins to me has dead set been a tackle and bag for the last 18 months. I don't think he's been very good at all, but he really stood up. He really stood up in this one. I thought he was incredible. Spence hit him pretty hard in that first one, and then he got him back in the second. It was awesome. A lot of people saying he got folded. He folded Spence twice. Don't know what folded is. Definitely didn't get folded either time. Neither one of them got folded either time. But I definitely thought Spence won the first piece of contact, and Lindsay definitely won the second piece of contact. That's what I'd more call it than folded. It was weird. Nanai and Carrigan, I can't even remember them doing anything. I really can't. But let's have a look over at these missed tackles. Who ended up making these missed tackles in the end? Because obviously Queensland made a lot in the second, and the second half is probably more how the game, I'm not saying the scoreline, but just how the game's going to go, like an even penalty count. We're more than likely going to get an even penalty count. All right, so Kalaponga 4. I'll give him a pass for a couple of them, just because it's tall. But yeah, he got brushed pretty easily. Toya 3, but that's not even that bad. But I guess they would have all been in the second half. Now, I'm really interested in this middle. Harry Grant's not bad. Lindsay Collins, 6 missed tackles. 6 missed tackles. The rest is fine. That's actually not that bad. There's no clear, the left edge got torn apart. Harry Grant misses at least 1 or 2 tackles where he sprints up off the line, gets bumped off, and then, you know what I mean? It's not a real missed tackle. It is, but yeah, look, I'm actually not mad at that. I think Queensland are really good. I actually really do. I thought they, like I said, they just really got to work out a way to stop getting skinned on the edges, because that was pretty bad how easily those tries flowed. I wouldn't say every time they were down there, but imagine if New South Wales had that much field position for the whole game, not just the final 30 minutes of it. So Queensland, like just my sort of thoughts on it. Queensland definitely, to me, New South Wales should definitely be favourites for the final game if both teams' rosters are healthy. But Queensland, I'm not saying they can't win, but they definitely have to sort that out, because I really don't see a 10-2 penalty count in the second game. It's in New South Wales. I think the refs are going to stay out of it. And yeah, that's so, like I said, pretty solid. People are sort of bagging. I haven't seen Queensland's in my comments saying, "Man, we got so lucky with the refs and stuff." Like I said, I don't comment on refs whether the calls are right or wrong, man. Like, their calls, sometimes they go for you, sometimes they go against you. But Queensland, New South Wales, even though they did score a lot of tries in that second half, I can't knock their effort. That's, again, if Cotter and Capewell don't defend the way they defend, New South Wales do win this. They do. There was a couple big plays Capewell came with in the last 20 minutes, what were enormous. So you can't knock them. It just wasn't perfect. But they can get better. They can fix it. And I'm sure New South Wales are going to fix a lot of their stuff they messed up. And, I don't see how, they play worse. But look at this dude. Brian Tall is the GOAT. I think his career now, I can't click on it. His career, let's see if we can find it. No, it was 3 tries, 232 metres. And just let this sink in for a second too. He didn't get any metres in the first half. This almost 80% of this came in the second half, man. 2 tackle breaks, 4 tackle busts. Never got beaten in a piece of contact. Got low, went hard. Just enormous, man. 3-second play the ball, faster than everyone else. This is the little things I don't see, man. People go, I had someone arguing with me about him not being that good, and I'm like, bro, you just look at it and you go, he played the ball he played the ball faster than everyone. He won every piece of contact. He ran for 200 metres in the second half, scored 3 tries. And this is what, just going back to club level, this is what makes him the greatest to me. There's these 2 things. Number one, his numbers go up in rep footy. That no one does that. Everyone's numbers come down, and rightly so. You're playing against the best players. His go up. Not only that, whatever edge he defends on for Penrith becomes one of the best, other than this year. Maybe he'll tighten it up this year. Becomes the best defensive edge in the comp. Last year, forgive me if I get the sides wrong, he was defending on the left. Penrith's other side became a massive defensive liability. His defensive side was first or second best in the comp. The other side's coming about 15th. Ivan Cleary swaps him, and then that edge from that point on to the end of the year where they won the comp became the best defensive edge in the comp. That's just so ridiculous. Do you know how whichever side he defends on both, plays on both, becomes the best defensive edge over the past 5 years. That stuff is just insane. The Uso, he's incredible, man. He's 26, man. I think he turns 26 this year, bro. He's incredible. If he plays like this and just until he's 30, he's cleared there won't be an argument anymore. I already think it's locked in. I'm just biggest Morris fan, but I think he clears him. Absolutely clears him. Luai, a bit all over the place, but solid. Put in a nice kick there for Crichton, but just a bit. Yeah, I just felt like both halves were out of rhythm. thought Max King was sold in the first 20, but 20, 25, however long he was on. Robson had some really nice scoots, actually. Payne Haas was really, really solid. A couple errors and a penalty, which is very un-Payne Haasy. If Payne Haas is giving penalties away, the ref's bloody blowing the whistle, that's for damn sure. Liam Martin was physical as hell, but, there'll be no numbers to back up anything he does. So, it was solid. Now, Connor Watson, bro, this was a massive L. He came on, and look, he had spark and all that sort of stuff, but there was a play in the second half. Queensland, like this is sometimes like this specialty number 4. Like, he's not a top shelf number 9. Like, because he's not a specialty number 9. He's he's good at everything. He's a master of. You call him the master of the jack of all trades, but master of none. But master of being a 14. Actually, that's so not master of none, master of being a 14. Where he's so good at every position. There was just a time in the second half where they'd just gone right. He was playing dummy half. I can't remember if maybe New South are up down by 1 try at this point, or maybe they're up, whatever it was. But it was just they'd just gone right. Queensland covered it easily. Queensland jumped back in defence. There's 2 markers, 2 New South Wales players on the right, 2 Queensland players on their left to their right, and he goes back that way, and then Zach Lomax fumbles it over. Isaiah Yeo, Nathan Cleary, and Luai were fanned out, screaming for the ball. Just a little tip for Connor Watson: when you're captain, when Nathan Cleary, Isaiah Yeo, and Nathan Cleary, Isaiah Yeo, Luai are screaming for the ball on the left, pass it to him. Like, I felt like he was sort of trying to be a little bit too creative out of there. Sometimes you just got to pass the ball to your best players, and that was a big L. I think they ended up getting the ball back and scoring not long after anyway, but it was just a very much like, oh, dude, like, that was, to me, what Watson should do is, shouldn't try and get too fancy around the ruck and run tricks and all that sort of stuff. It's just like, pass the ball off the deck and run if there's one defender. That should simplify his game, right? There was just a few times I saw him like trying to be a really nice dummy half. I'm like, bro, you're great at it, but you're not Happy Coruscant, bro. You're not Harry Grant. You're an incredible player, but yeah, I just saw a couple of things around the ruck where he just sort of was trying stuff. I'm like, oh man, just pass the ball straight off the deck, straight to Isaiah, right here. Huddy Young, Spencer Linu, okay, didn't really have the impact he had, but Huddy Young got brought on at a weird time, but I thought he was solid. Stefano, bro, hands down the most overrated prop ever. Like, when he was at the Tigers, I never understood why everyone was hyping this dude up so hard. Like, he's a really good prop, but they talk about him like he is paying hard. Like, bro, I've watched every single carry, and watched every single tackle this dude has ever made. I've watched every single game he's ever played, and not once have I ever been like, he was clearly the best forward on the park. Never once. Like, never once have I been like, man, Stefano tonight, man, whoa. Never. Like, good, yep. Solid, yep. Reliable, yeah. Gets you through his work, meet it, like 800k Melbourne played for him. Like, this might be I don't get it, man. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand why he's even considered for this team, let alone picked over some of the guns that didn't make it. Like, I really don't get it. Am I tripping here? Like, can any of you guys just tell me a game where you're like, yeah, Stefano, I'm not saying he's had good games, but like, can you ever remember a game where you're like, man, Stefano was clearly the best forward on the park tonight? Like, surely to play State of Origin, you had to have at least once been clearly the best on the field at that position. You know? I don't know, bro. Just my thoughts. He's good. Anyway. Look. Got moving forward. I just can't wait for game 3, man. Like, I'm so happy this has gone to a game. I jumped on Ticket Tech at halftime or whatever, or I can't remember if it was Ticket Tech, whatever. I went on the NRL site and get tickets. I was like, maybe I should grab a few and head down. At halftime, I was in a 5,000 person queue to get tickets. I was like, damn, man, the 5,000 people are on that. You know, imagine if, you wanted to go, only we're going to watch a decider, and then New South Wales ended up snatching it. You'd be like, damn it. But yeah, look, it's just such a weird game to gauge. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm taking anything away from Queensland, because I thought they won, bro, and there was players that stood up and were great. It's good on them, but I don't know, man. It's very rare that you win and you're like, I think this team needs changes if they want to win next game. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what those changes could be, but let's have a quick look at it. Val Holmes got stood up real bad. Ponga is wet, so do we give him? Look, I'm just going to say, awesome win from Queensland. New South Wales definitely have the juice to beat them next time and bring on State of Origin Game 3, baby. Let's go. Let's go. That is actually my final take. Like, I don't know what to say. I really don't. It was just such a stop-starty game. It had no flow, so we never really got to see Queensland in that flow. Well, we did, and they got beaten handily when the game was flowing. It's bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. But look, man, we get a game 3. I'm excited. I cannot wait. It's going to be an absolute blockbuster. Bring it on. I cannot wait. Let's go.